And this concludes our broadcast programming. Please tune in at 6 a.m. for Sunrise Semester. No, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WFMU East Orange, WXHD Mount Hope, worldwide on the World Wide Web at WFM. Hey, keep that scratchy record going. Thank you. Thank you, scratchy record. My name's Tom Scharpling, and my co-host is the Scratchy Record. We're going to be with you till 11 o'clock tonight. It's the Tom and Scratchy Record program. It used to be called the best show on WFMU. My co-host didn't like that, the Scratchy Record. She got mad. Yes, the Scratchy Record is a female. How are you doing tonight? Really? So what else is going on? Read something. The Scratchy Record's going to read something from the newspaper. I know you were looking to read this, and it's something you felt strongly about, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to you. Okay? Very interesting. Thank you for that. We appreciate your opinions. I should say that the opinions expressed by the Scratchy Record are not necessarily those of WFMU and its constituents. But you know what it's time for? It's time for the best show on WFMU. I'm going to say goodnight to my co-host, the Scratchy Record, and say hello to my best show.
WFMU.
Best show.
WFMU.
Best show.
WFMU.
Best show.
WFMU.
From the ocean, the name was on her forehead. Babylon, Babylon. 6 is the number, 6 is the number of a man. 6 is the number, 6 is the number.
She was cast back into the sea from where she came, so that she would never torment man again. It's been written down in Revelation, Daniel and John explanation. When you read it, you will find it's the sign of warning for mankind. 6, 6, 6.
turned away and said, once I loved, but love is dead. And I whispered, sometimes love is only sleeping. She said, I cannot cry, and I cannot give or feel or even try. And her voice was hard and cold, then her sweet young face looked old. And I whispered, sometimes love is only sleeping. Through the endless days and nights she could not help but wrap herself in sorrow. Through the endless days and nights we waited for a shining new tomorrow. Love was sleeping. Her eyes as it mingled with our sighs, and she whispered, sometimes love is only sleeping. And she whispered, sometimes love is only sleeping. Only sleeping, yeah, only sleeping.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is the best show on WFMU. My name is Tom Scharpling, here with you until 11. It's 3 hours, 180 minutes of mirth, music, and mayhem. We are here each and every Tuesday night from 8 until 11. The new schedule is in effect next week, but this show stays where it is, as is. We are not going anywhere. It's like that movie, The Last Castle. We refuse to give up. Actually, I don't know what that movie's about, so it seems like it has something to do with someone refusing something and having a lot of pride, and someone else being kind of like a tough guy and saying, I'm taking it away from you, and somebody else is like, it belongs to me. You can't take it away from me. I don't know what the movie's about, to tell you the truth. I know that Robert Redford is in it, and that he looks like he's about 150 years old in the trailer I saw. So maybe it's like a senior citizen's home revolting. Maybe it's like maybe James Gandolfini plays like this horrible caretaker of an assisted community or something, and the seniors rise. No, probably the way it is that Robert Redford still thinks he's like a tough guy in whatever advanced state of dementia he has tricked himself into existing within. But I'll tell you one thing, they've got my money. Hollywood. 2 for The Last Castle, please. And you know the funny thing is I'm going to see it by myself. I buy an extra ticket. Just because that's how much Hollywood deserves our money. Hey, we heard from Johnny Vomit and the Dry Heaves from their fantastic 7-inch on the Goner label out of Memphis, Tennessee. We heard Choking on a Lude, Part 1. Recorded in 1983. Oh, before that, the Clone Defects. Who doesn't like the Clone Defects? You know who I know likes them? WFMU's own Joe Belock. He likes them. He had them on his show. And we just played them on my show. We heard Not As Good as Gold by the Clone Defects from their fantastic album Blood on Jupiter on the Superior Sounds record label. Before that, everyone's favorite band, the Monkees, checking in from their Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorns, and Jones album. Did I say Capricorns? Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. Originally on the Coal Gems label, reissued by the folks at Rhino with bonus tracks. We heard Love Is Only Sleeping. Oh, Oneida have a new record out. It's called Anthem of the Moon. And we heard All Around Her from it. How good was that song, huh? Everybody loves Oneida. I'm a fan of Oneida. I'm more a fan of Oneida as in the boat, the yacht Oneida. William Randolph Hearst's Yacht Oneida is what I'm a fan of. But I am a fan of the band also. And Job's Daughters before that. A 7-inch on the Nuff Said label going all the way back to 1991. Nuff Said out of San Francisco. Your Brandon Kearney from World of Pooh and 100 other San Francisco bands. Job's Daughter with The Prophecy of Daniel and John the Divine. Hey, the phone number, 201-200-9368 is the number. And you know what tonight is? Tonight's Open Phone Tuesday, that's right. We're lucky. Nay, we are fortunate. And now we are blessed to have back on the program Dave working the phones. It is Open Phone Tuesday, so 201-200-9368 or the email address, thomas@wfmu.org. You write the email, I read the email right away. All right, the phones? Hot phones. Let's go to the phones. Oh. WFMU, you're on the air. FMU, you're on the air. Oh. That didn't work. Hold on. WFMU, you're on the air.
Tom?
Yes?
What's up?
How you doing?
Doing all right. This is Gavin. How's it going?
Oh, going pretty good, Gavin. So how are things on your end?
Doing all right. I've been staying in a little bit lately, and I've been listening to some of your archived shows on the computer.
Oh, that's fantastic. Which everybody, you can go to WFMU.org and visit the, I think there's an archive page if you just poke around.
Right.
So you...
And I was listening today to the one show where you challenge your listeners to come up with a Zappa song that's good. So you don't like Zappa, huh?
No, I'm not a fan of Frank Zappa at all. That was, I guess, a couple months ago, maybe, that show?
Yeah, I think so.
So...
Well, I'm personally a fan, but I guess I can kind of understand where you're coming from, but...
Okay, I mean, it's not my thing, you know, it doesn't do it for me.
I mean, if you don't like Zappa, I mean, something you might want to try out is, the logical progression from Zappa was obviously Mr. Bungle. You might want to try them out.
Yeah, I've heard Mr. Bungle. I don't like Mr. Bungle either.
What do you mean?
I kind of didn't like the music I heard. I don't like Mr. Bungle.
Well, I mean, have you heard over a minute and a half of Mr. Bungle?
I've heard a couple songs. I mean, it was kind of...
obviously, they jump around to about 5 different genres within a minute. I mean, you know.
I think that was... Yeah, I definitely have heard Mr. Bungle, and it's just kind of too busy and kind of all over the map for me. That's
we got to
usually
respect what they're doing. I mean,
for what? For what Mr. Bungle are doing?
You got to respect. I mean, even if you might not like it sonically, but you got to respect the musicianship.
I mean, they're good musicians. I guess, but I think they overplay. I mean, you don't think they overplay at all?
No, I think it's really wicked what they do. I mean,
I would say they overplay. You know, that it's kind of show-off-ish, you know, to play that...
Well, have you heard... Okay, there's a spin-off band that's like a little... I mean, maybe you want something a little weirder. I mean, I don't see how you can really get too much weirder than Mr. Bungle, but... Maybe you want something like, like the Secret Chiefs. Have you heard them?
The Secret Chiefs?
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard the Secret Chiefs. That's not exactly my...
Pretty killer. Oh, you don't like that either?
Not really. I mean, I think I heard one thing I like.
Well, what about the Zorn connection?
To what?
To Bungle and the Chiefs and Mike Patton. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
there's.
I mean, I know who.
Obviously, Zorn is the barometer by which credibility is to be measured.
Yes, I would disagree with that vaguely. I think he. I'm not a big John Zorn.
Without Zorn, there would be no Buckethead.
Oh, I'll take that. I mean.
What do you mean you'll take?
I mean it's. I don't know if that's. I don't know if you're exactly doing John Zorn a great, a great service by blaming Buckethead on him.
So you don't like Buckethead?
No.
I mean, you got to respect the way that guy plays, though. You have to respect it.
No, I really don't have to respect it. I don't have to respect what. I don't have to respect what the guy does. If the guy overplays, he overplays. I mean, that's just like Frank Zappa, where it's
so
like
weird, though.
But if it's,
I mean, it's so weird.
But
it's awesome.
But weird. What does weird? I mean, weird for its own sake. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, what does that matter? Weird. If it's just deliberately weird and it doesn't do anything other than be weird.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean. What do you think about Alice Donut?
I really don't like Alice Donut.
You got to be kidding me.
No, absolutely not. I'm not a.
They're really wicked.
I mean, it's this like over virtuosity. It's. I don't know.
You don't like Alice Donut?
No, not. I hate Alice Donut.
Oh, I mean, what do you like the buttholes?
I kind of thought I was never the biggest fan, and I guess maybe I missed their heyday seeing them live. And I thought, I think the records are interesting. The early stuff is good, but I just think they also have, made a career out of going way out of their way to.
I mean, how can you discredit, like something like this? I mean. Like, have you heard the Widowmaker EP? I mean, listen to this right here. Check it out. Check this out.
Okay, I'm checking it out.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that? That's a bong. They recorded a bong.
What, an actual bong is on the record?
Yeah, they recorded somebody smoking pot out of a bong. That's awesome.
That's not much of a big deal. I mean, is that a big deal to you?
I mean, they were one of the first to do that.
But again, that it's like what?
Have you ever heard lard?
That's the Jello Biafra thing, right?
Right, with Al Jurgensen from Ministry, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
You don't like that?
No.
What do you like? Like real obscure stuff? I mean, I like some I like some stuff that pretty much got overlooked, over the past 10 years.
Like what?
That I think's real good, like Boot Sauce. Have you ever checked them out?
See, that again is just, that's not my cup of tea at all. Like Boot Sauce. I just don't like that stuff where it's real flashy and showy, and it's kind of like wanky.
You ever heard Sausage?
Yeah, that was this another side project. Who was it? Like Les Claypool.
It was Les Claypool from Primus. It was awesome. You ever heard that record?
The Sausage record. I heard it in passing, and I did not like it.
What do you think about Primus? I mean, you like Primus, right?
No. Oh God, no.
Really?
No.
You don't like Mr. Bungle, and you don't like Primus.
No, I don't. I don't like either band at all.
Okay.
I mean, do you?
I'm trying to get kind of a handle on your taste here. I mean, it's kind of a little bit boggling to me. I mean, do you like? What about the Monks of Doom? You like that stuff?
No, that's the guy from Camper Van Beethoven, I think.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all.
You like No Means No? I mean, you gotta like No Means No.
No, I don't. No,
you gotta respect what they're doing.
I don't.
I mean,
why do I have to respect what they're doing? Tell me why I have to respect it. I mean,
It's all over the place, man, especially with Bungle, man. It's all over the place. I mean, they jump from, like, cabaret music to, like, grindcore to, like, a cappella to torch songs. I mean, within, like, 30 seconds, man. You got to dig that, man. You got to respect it.
No, I don't have to respect it at all. Who cares? I mean, that's not my problem that it goes all over the place. I mean, it's like,
stop it. Sorry, my cat was playing with my dreads.
No, well, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay, but I just no, I don't have to.
Have you heard Phantomus?
Who is it?
Phantomus.
No, who was that?
It's Mike Patton from Bungle, of course, and Buzzo from the Melvins.
No, I never heard
Dave
of that.
Lombardo from Slayer.
No, I've never heard it. Is it on his label, on Mike Patton's label? Ipecac?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I don't see this. That whole genre of people just like overplaying and being deliberately weird and jumping from style to style for only to show that they can jump from style to style is not my kind of music at all.
So, I mean, you're just not, like, slightly in awe of, like, just...
Not in the slightest.
Incredible musicianship of these people.
Absolutely not. I think that's nothing impressive at all. It's, good for them that they can play, and they can play, and they are sure to remind you of it at every possible opportunity. And there is something to be said for subtlety and not necessarily...
I think I don't know, I think Buckethead is pretty subtle.
I don't think so at all. I mean, that stuff is just like kind of like you get beat over the head with the guy's ability. I mean, that's part of, ability is one thing, but taste is another thing. Just being able to do things in a tasteful way where you're just not so insecure that you have to show that you can play at every opportunity.
Huh.
I mean, do you see what I'm saying?
Not really, man.
So you think I'm being too hard on?
Well, you know what though? I mean, I don't think you're being hard on anybody. I mean, I guess I have to come to the realization that there's people that just don't get it.
I think
I do. It's gonna go over some people's heads.
I'm sure
Bungle's gonna go over some people's heads. I mean,
it's not going over my head though.
Well,
I'm sure I get what they're trying to do. I just don't like it. I mean,
so you can pick out all the influences, like when they're jumping around, and you can identify where they're coming from.
You mean style to style?
Or just anything. I mean, so you think you got a handle on the Bungle aesthetic, is what you're saying?
I don't like it. I mean, I think I can follow what they're doing. I think they overplay, and they're just like trying to just jump from style to style just to show that they can do it.
I think I'm going to be able to. I mean, I think eventually I'm going to be able to turn you on to something I like. I mean, certainly we have an aesthetic meeting ground here. I mean, all right. Have you heard Oysterhead?
Yes.
You know what that is?
Yeah, that's
Les Claypool from Primus, Trey from Fish, and Stuart Copeland from the Police.
Yeah,
I think you'd like that stuff.
I have actually heard that in passing. I didn't like it at all.
All right. That's pretty subtle.
I don't think that's not subtle at all, that music. That's like so showy and grandiose. I mean, you don't see what I'm talking about at all.
I mean, what? Like, it's bad that a guy can play? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not bad that a guy can.
It's bad to be able to play your instrument?
No, no, not at all. If you can play your instrument, perfect. I just don't think it's. I just don't think you have to just be so flashy with it and just like so. It's like so childish in a way.
Huh.
I mean, I wish I could just get it across to you what I mean by that.
But you like Alice Donut, right?
No, I said I don't like Alice Donut.
But it's so weird, man.
But it's weird and
so out there.
But they know how out there they're trying to make it. Do you see what I'm talking about at all? That they are.
I mean, when I hear something good, I mean, I know I hear something good. I mean, it's just.
Well, that's how it works for a lot of people. I'm glad you like that
Have
music.
you heard the new Victims Family record?
No, I haven't.
Apocalypse?
No, I have heard Victims Family before, though, and I'm not a fan.
Oh, of course. I mean, I might as well come to expect that by now, that you're not going to be a fan of good music.
Well, now, see, I like the music I think is good.
Yeah, okay.
And the stuff that you like, you think is good, and I mean, that's fine for you. I'm glad you found music that you enjoy.
How about 247 Spies?
I don't like them at all. That's bad.
It's wicked. I mean, come on.
What is so wicked about it?
Just the way they play, man. They're so tight.
Was it tight? I mean, that's again. There's bands that are tight that are,
10 years ago, I saw Tragic Mulatto and 247 Spies together, and I think my mind is still blown from that.
I'm glad for you. I don't begrudge you liking what you like one iota. I mean, I don't know why you feel the need to sell me on this music. I mean, if I don't like it, I don't like it.
Well, I mean, see, I just don't. Whatever. I guess there's people. It's going to go. Like I said before, it's going to go over some people's heads. Some people walk around with a giant space above their heads, and that's where everything goes.
See, I think you're also simplifying it. So because I don't like it, you're trying to put me down on some level.
No, there's people that are not going to understand it. That's the thing. There's people that are just Bungle is way too out there for some people, and I mean that's just the way it's going to be, man. I guess.
I mean, I get exactly what they're trying to do. I just don't like it. Am I not entitled to that? I'm not entitled not to like it?
You can, I guess, keep listening to your, Foo Fighters or whatever.
I don't like the Foo Fighters.
Okay, yeah, all right.
The Foo Fighters? I mean, what would make you think I like Foo Fighters?
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking of like some real normal stuff that somebody like you might do.
Oh, so I'm Mr. Normal, according to you.
I think so. I mean, obviously, I run down, I'm throwing some names at you. You don't like them. And, I think you're kind of a square.
Square. I'm a square because
You're kind of like the prince of mediocrity.
Oh, so I'm sorry, and I guess you are the prince of just diversity and
no, man,
now
I can hear it, man. I can just hear it.
You can hear what?
I can hear it. I can appreciate it. I can respect.
It's like you're stuck at the like. It's like you're a 14-year-old though. It's like you just.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of 14-year-olds who can, understand, like the first Primus record, or,
I mean, what do you think? Only a PhD? You think you need a PhD?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Do you need a PhD to understand Primus? I mean, did I miss out on the basic requirements?
I mean, yeah, I think I'll go. I guess if I go over to my 14-year-old brother's house right now, he'll be. Rocking out to some Big Chief or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. I mean, see, the music you like is just so self-consciously clever, and that never does it for me.
Huh. Well,
I mean,
some people enjoy intelligence in their music, and that
I enjoy intelligence. I think that music is it's like a false form of intelligence. It's like the guy who reads Stephen King books and thinks he's well read just because he's reading a book. Like you listen to music that's just that's got
don't
some.
You like jazz. Obviously, you don't like jazz if you don't like any of this stuff.
No, I like jazz. I mean, what the stuff you like is not jazz. I'm sorry to tell you that. I mean, am I breaking this to you? That
there's a lot of jazz in what I listen to, man.
No, there's probably a lot of pseudo jazz, where people think they're being.
So Zorn's a pseudo jazz musician.
Absolutely.
Zorn's not a real jazz musician. Is that what you're
I would
saying?
agree with that.
You would.
He's not a real jazz guy, no.
Okay.
Or you think he's just like a straight, hardline jazz guy?
Obviously.
Obviously.
You ever heard the guy play?
I have heard his records, yeah, and it just, more power to him, I guess. But it's not my thing, and I don't think it's jazz.
Okay.
All right, I'm
All right,
sorry.
Well, I'm real glad folks like you, have radio shows,
So I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't have a show then.
I'm real glad guys that know so much about music have radio shows.
Oh, well, I get what you're trying to infer, and I really don't appreciate it.
Okay, well, yeah, you lost one listener.
Boo. Well, goodbye.
Bye now.
So long forever. Oh, well, that's a great way to start the show off. Oh, hey, the phone number, 201-200-9368. It's Open Phone Tuesday. My name is Tom Scharpling. This is the best show on WFMU. The email address, toms@wfmu.org. If you wish to get in touch with me. You write the email, I read the email. Instantaneously. You dial the phone, anything you want to talk about tonight. The phones are open to you, the listener. I am turning it over to you to say what you wish to say. Hey, did everybody hear that Michael Jordan is coming back? It was official today. He made it official. He's coming back to the NBA. Oh, how sad is that going to be? To just watch this guy in a, excuse me for doing that, they're a Wizards jersey. The Wizards. The horrible Washington Wizards. I'm typing, let's go to ESPN.com and let's see what's up for Michael Jordan. Let's see. What does he say? Michael Jordan says he signed a 2-year contract with the Washington Wizards. I am returning as a player to the game I love, said Jordan, 38 years old and 3 years removed. I mean, from playing. Think about, this is how the guy ended his career back in what was that, 98? The final shot in his career was a game-winning shot in the NBA Finals, securing a championship. You can't walk out on a better note than that. You can't leave the game on a better note than that. So now he's coming back to the Washington Wizards, this horrifyingly bad team. So I guess, you know what, Michael Jordan, you set the tone for what I would like to talk about tonight. The topic, I want to talk about people in any field who has outlasted, who doesn't know when to get off the stage. If it's a band or if it's a performer, who do you think of when you think of people who outstay their welcome and they don't know when to bow out gracefully? Well, apparently Michael Jordan now has become one of them. I am especially excited about the Washington Wizards, and I'm convinced we have the foundation on which to build a playoff contention team. The opportunity to teach our young players and help them elevate their game to a higher level, and to thank the fans in Washington for their loyalty and support strongly influenced my decision. Oh, what a horror show. This is going to be the lamest thing you've ever seen. If you want to see something lame, wait till Michael Jordan puts on the ugly Washington Wizards jersey and steps onto the floor, a 38-year-old guard. So who is there that just embarrasses you, that you've been a fan of? You like their work, you've always admired them, and then they just don't know when to say goodbye. Like they I mean, you know what? And I think this band is horrifying now. It would never, like, in terms of mainstream bands, I mean, obviously everybody could say the Rolling Stones. It's just like, how sad is that? They just keep it going. That's just like a nightmare. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed that last exchange, and I was telling the fellow whoever answered that, I mean, I almost would have thought it was fake, but then, of course, I realized it wasn't at the end, that
No.
your man really, his feelings were hurt. And
Well, you know, everybody's got their tastes. You know, they like what they like, and they want to. Sometimes people want to just convert you to what they like, and they can't understand why. You know what I mean? Do you have that? Have you ever had that where people?
I think I've been guilty on both sides, although in recent years I've become much more tolerant, I guess. A lot of it had to do with my wife, or when I first met her many years ago, like trying to convince her that certain old, you know, I wouldn't call it prog rock, but, you know, certain groups were brilliant, and she would just dismiss them. And
Like what groups?
oh, God, it's embarrassing to say, probably.
Say it. You can tell me.
Well, these guys aren't even prog rock, but like the Straubs. Do you remember the
Yeah,
Straubs?
yeah, uh-huh.
I mean, she looked at my collection and she's like, "Why do you have so many Straubs records? Who are the Straubs?" And I was like, "The Straubs are great." And every time I would play them for her, she'd just be like, "You know,
This sucks.
they stink." Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, I brought up a topic.
Yeah.
Who-
The Over the Hill.
Yeah, who has outstayed their welcome in any any type of media?
I mean,
Can you think of
there's
anybody?
There's so many in music. It's hard to. You named a few, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was sort of. Well, the Who are a quintessential example. That's
Yes.
Embarrassing. I mean, they still charge over $100 at the Garden State Arts Center or whatever, but it's still an embarrassment, I think. But
I mean, it's just, I don't know who. I mean, I've never gotten much satisfaction from even seeing bands when they are, past that point. Like the, like you know what I went to see about 12 years ago. I think I went to see the Beach Boys at the Garden State Arts Center, and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking when I went in.
right.
But what I saw as I left early, mind you, I bailed on the show. I left during the Wipeout medley when they were doing their song Wipeout that they had recently recorded with the Fat Boys at that point,
Right.
which I think that was the final straw for me.
The funny thing is, I can actually think of some, oldsters that still had class. They kept it together. Like Tito Puente, I saw him a couple of years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
the man was amazing. And I just felt grateful to finally get to see him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're someone like him, which I guess there aren't that many people that come along that can do it for so
They
long.
can keep doing. Well, that's it. Let's also talk about the other side of the coin. Who are the exceptions to that rule? Because I guess at some point, everybody has to lose it to at least a certain degree.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, wouldn't you agree with that? That no, who could maintain a high level without any missteps?
Right, I would agree with that. But if you realize that and you adapt and you still, and you're still interesting, and more than that, you have a vibrancy and energy, that draws people to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
people of all ages and all, and someone like, say, Tito Puente, like all different, black, white, whatever. I mean, you go to a concert of his and it was great.
So that he transcended the that kind of that wall that a lot of these people hit.
Right.
You think he?
I have one example, but definitely, I think so.
Okay, well that's a great observation. So let's talk about both sides of the coin. But who does anybody irk you the most? Who like is still on the stage? Like I know you could name 100 people who are wearing out their welcome, but who comes to mind who just like it embarrasses you as a person to watch them still try to do their thing long after the fact? Is it the Who?
That's one example, but I mean, I wouldn't even think of going to see them, so I couldn't tell you, like, you know, I was there and saw them and it was painful, you know?
Yeah. I mean, is there anybody that you're a huge fan of?
Oh, man.
That you just at one point said, "Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm done with this."
I don't know. It's like most of the people I like anymore have been dead for so many years that it's, you know, it's hard to think of contemporary artists.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling.
But anyway, enjoy the show.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy.
You have a good night.
You too.
Bye. 201-200-9368 is the number. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, you know who I think's overstayed their welcome?
Who's that?
Is Tricky.
Tricky, okay.
Yeah, because, you know, his first album was, like, really amazing, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then just after that, it was just, like, really, really bad. It just went downhill.
So, I mean, but do you think that Tricky might have been somebody for you who only had one album in him?
Well, you know what? I think, like, he was afraid to keep going on the path he was going.
Uh-huh.
Because of, like, the whole, you know, what was going on with, like, Portishead and all that other stuff around him. And, you know, he was afraid he was going to look like an imitator. I don't know what, you know, but I think he could have pursued that path and maybe, you know, gotten at least, you know, one more album.
Okay, but you think you only like one Tricky album?
Yeah, well, the first one was.
Okay.
You know,
but doesn't that almost not even make him qualify for this? Doesn't that even make him like a fluke almost?
oh, right, like he was, like, gone before he even started.
Yeah, like he didn't even accumulate a body of work that you could respect and then watch him slip from that.
Yeah, I guess so.
But, you know, all right. I appreciate it. But Tricky, we will put him in the, since you voted for him, you know where he goes?
Yeah, in the bin.
In the bin. Thank you. In the bin. How'd you know that?
Well, it's the bin.
And it actually is a bin. You should see it sometime.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Cool.
We will physically put Tricky in the bin tonight.
I hope he fits.
Now, hey, are you a member of what used to be known as Scharpling's Army?
Actually, yes, I am.
Well, can I tell you one thing? Tonight, I'm proud to announce a name change. It's Friends of Tom now. I want no military imagery in my fan club.
I think that's a very nice idea.
It's Friends of Tom. It's more peaceful.
Yeah, more unity, more
and you know
positive.
You know what the best thing is?
What?
What does it? If you had to break it down, what do you call that? An anagram? I'm so bad. What is
Bomb.
it? No,
I mean font.
Font. Isn't that like? Doesn't that sound?
That's cool.
It's, you know what? It's only 3 letters.
It's like a noise on Batman.
Yeah. Fought. It's like somebody getting punched. You know, like pow, blam, fought.
No, the clubs with the punch noises. They're,
Because the other thing is it's only 3 letters, but have you ever heard 3 letters put together that sound worse than fought? F-O-T. It's just like there's like the O. It's just like the F doesn't go with the O, and the O doesn't go with the T.
Well, F is like F is such a weird letter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it never quite fits.
No, it starts your mouth off in the wrong way, and then to go to the fought, and the T like cuts it short. Also, like you think it should be like a longer thing, but the T just ends it. So that's what it's Friends of Tom now. And if you want to join Friends of Tom, what did you do to join?
You send him the email
to toms@wfmu.org, and
Everybody.
say I want to join FOT and become a friend of Tom, because it's a fan club. We're putting it together in all earnestness. Is that the right way to say earnesty? In all earnesty. I know that's not correct, but I'm just going to say in all earnesty, we are putting this thing together, and there are going to be membership cards. Things obviously got sidetracked because I don't know if you've heard. Have you been following the news at all?
Yeah.
This thing happened in the news, right? That it was like the end of the Earth. It happened, and that kind of sidetracked me for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
I can see how that.
Yeah, but thanks for joining. You are now a friend of Tom.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Well, thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
Okay. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hiya.
Hey.
So I've got another name to add to your hat.
Okay.
Which is Pink Floyd.
So Pink Floyd are over the hill for you.
Oh, good Lord. Walking Wounded. Just the worst.
When did it stop?
I think that there are probably going to be people who are disagreeing with me here, but I think that Final Cut was probably the end of it. But Final Cut was kind of Roger Waters' first solo album, so I would say The Wall was probably the pinnacle of the actual cooperation as a group.
See, but some people would say that Pink Floyd ended when Sid flaked out. There's plenty of people who would say that.
The Wall was such an important part of my adolescence. I can't. I'll say that the Sid Barrett thing was, pretty magnificent. He was a creator, sort of nipped in the bud, whatever. But I think there's a lot of great Floyd from the '70s. And I think that what happened? What was the first album after Waters left? Obscured by Clouds or whatever it was. Just
it wasn't
terrible.
Obscured by Clouds.
Unlistenable.
It was Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Oh yes.
See, I just
Momentary Lapse of Reason, exactly.
With those horrible album covers that are just pretending to have meaning.
Oh, I know, the faux Magritte. It's like, oh look, it's so deep, and it's just ridiculous.
It's like, and it's like, let's take this thing. We'll have all these beds lined up, and they'll be empty. But then there'll be one person in one of the beds, and then we'll have these two guys standing over here, and that might mean something, and one guy's going to hold a giant light bulb, and it's going to look, and people are supposed to sit there stoned trying to figure out what they meant with it, and meanwhile it's like they had no idea what they were going for when they designed those album covers.
Exactly. They were like, let's keep the sort of psychedelic, grandiose, progressive Pink Floyd mystique, but they were shooting blanks. They were walking blind. It was amazing.
Even the Pink Floyd album covers from the ones you probably like, where it's like, let's have this thing where one businessman is shaking another businessman's hand, but then the other businessman is engulfed in flame.
Am I going to get into the same trouble by defending 70s Floyd as the other guy was by defending Mr. Bungle?
You know what? They almost should have just changed their name, shouldn't they?
I agree. I agree.
Like Pink Floyd should have just been like, hey, you know what? The guy who wrote all the songs for the group, he's not in it anymore, so we're just going to kind of become a new thing here with this new guy who writes all of our songs.
I mean, there were a lot of lawsuits, right?
Over
when Waters left and they stayed on.
Yeah, well, there were lawsuits because I guess Dave Gilmour and Nick Mason, is that the guy's name?
Yes.
And I guess they tried to continue the group, and it just becomes completely rudderless, and it's like, that's a horror show, that whole thing.
I remember. See, the funny thing about this one is that I remember a Dave Gilmour solo album before Pink Floyd officially broke up that I loved when I was in high school. Obviously I haven't heard it since then, but Without a Net or something. I can't remember what it was, but I thought it was a really sort of lush and beautiful album, at least as a 15-year-old.
Uh-huh.
And then on the other hand, you've got the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking and Radio Chaos, which are garbage. And it proves that I don't know, maybe Waters had his own issues when he left, or so. There's a synergy that comes with being a band that's actually working and listening to each other. That's absent there.
Now I remember being 9. Now you're not going to believe this. I was 9, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was trying so hard to get tickets to see The Wall at Madison Square Garden when they were doing.
Oh, good luck!
And I was like, I remember just like saying like, hey, let me just call and. I guess it's at Madison Square Garden in New York, so I just found the number and I dialed and I stood there listening to the tape of them announcing the shows that were at the Garden and it's like, oh, it's sold out. I had no idea that that was kind of it was shocking to me. Oh, it's sold out.
Why would it be sold out? They just said there were tickets available.
But it must have been sold out in 4 minutes after the tickets went out. But I probably called 2 days before the show happened and was as a 9-year-old wondering and first of all, a 9-year-old shouldn't be seeing The Wall. I'm sure my parents would not have let me see it.
No, you probably didn't. You probably didn't.
It's the best.
You wouldn't have mentioned that one to them at all.
It's the best thing that ever happened that I couldn't get into to see them. Absolutely. Hey, do you listen to the station a lot?
Every now and then, I actually haven't listened to your show before. When I'm driving, which is rarely in Manhattan.
Well, do you want to become a friend of Tom?
Oh, please, let me be a thought, as awkward as it sounds.
So you have to email me when you get home. Email toms@wfmu.org and say
toms@wfmu.org.
Yes,
okay.
you can always get the email address from the FMU website.
All right.
There's like a directory, but say I want to be a friend of Tom, and you'll be in the fan club. And do you know what station you're listening to? You're listening to WFMU East Orange, WXHD Mount Hope, worldwide on the World Wide Web at WFMU.org. We have to do that.
I certainly don't mind.
That was an uncomfortable segue. Hey, well, thanks for calling.
You got it, Tom.
Or you have a good night.
Take care.
Okay, bye. Hey, so we are talking about who wore out their welcome, who did not know when to get off the stage. WFMU, you're on the air.
Yeah, how you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay.
I like your show.
Oh, thanks. Oh, you like it?
I love your show.
Okay.
I'm ecstatic about your show.
Because I was going to say, wow, you actually are really going out on a limb there, committing that you do like it. Thank you. What else? How are you doing?
All right. On the plus side, on the bands or guys that are actually getting better as they go on, I went to see at Irving Plaza yesterday. I went to see the Rollins band.
Really?
And I know, like, a lot of people will probably argue with me that, that he's a schmuck and all, and that he's sold out, and because he's doing all this other stuff, and,
But you liked it.
But I think he's actually, getting better with age, it seems. I mean, it's like...
There is, like, an overall appeal to a guy who is, like, who you can follow on their artistic quest. You know what I mean?
Right,
if you have a favorite artist and you can follow them, like, there is an appeal to, like if you're like a Bob Dylan fan, like you can actually look at these huge stretches and you can analyze this and analyze, there's so much work there for you to chew on that it's like you could dedicate your life to it. But it's like, so, I personally am not a big Rollins fan, but you had a good time?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. I mean,
Was he wearing the shorts?
Well, of course, it was no
black
shirt,
T-shirt,
the whole thing.
Did he come out in a black T-shirt?
Because I don't know, you probably heard that he actually has a new band now.
What band is it?
Well, there's the band is actually a band on their own. They're called Mother Superior.
Yeah.
And they're his band now.
Okay.
And they actually, Mother Superior played the opening act.
Okay.
For the Rollins band. So they actually, they played 2 sets. Which was kind of cool.
So these guys are like, are they?
Yeah, they're more like they're play like their own brand of music. It's more like a bluesy type of rock. Which that's kind of the direction that the Rollins band is going now, sort of.
So you think it's like Rollins could be the next, like our next blues man?
I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely straight rock and roll, and
Now, do you think do you at least on some level find him funny?
Oh, I think he's hilarious.
I mean, I think
you mean funny, haha, or funny, weird?
Kind of funny, haha. Actually, like the fact that have you ever seen him do his spoken word stuff?
Yes, I have.
Recently, like. You know how I guess he started off doing the spoken word stuff and he was reading from the books, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden he started becoming like a stand-up comic.
Right.
Without actual jokes.
Well, he's just he's like telling stories.
Yeah, but they're stories that kind of sometimes, trail off. And you ever drive down a road and you're like trying to get home or something, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I think this is the way to go, and you take it and you're like, oh, this road doesn't go anywhere. I got to go, That's how his stories go a lot of times.
Right, yeah, he goes off on tangents a lot, but overall, I think he's a good storyteller. He can tell a good story.
Well, he can definitely
something that happened to him, and you kind of
he
turned to him.
Sure. And did you ever read Get in the Van?
Actually, I've only listened to the double album. It's like an audiobook CD.
Sure, I've got that.
That's actually I like that a lot too.
You got to read.
That's totally the other side of the spectrum.
You got to read the book because it's actually funny because he didn't keep a tour diary. I guess for the first year he was in Black Flag, and he kind of wrote in retrospect, like, you know, when in, I guess, like 1996 or whatever, he went back. He tried to write what happened, like the first year of what it was like to be in Black Flag.
No, I mean, I thought it was all written as it happened.
Well, it is up to, at a certain point.
Right.
Like he wasn't keeping a diary in 82, I guess. So for that, so that he would have the continuity of his whole tenure in Black Flag, he recalled the first, you know, 6 months and then printed his diary from that point on. But him recalling it is like much more gentle, and he's like, oh, I got to be with my heroes, and it was so great. I got to escape working at the you know, the Baskin Robbins and all the stuff. Like he's looking back like an adult looking back on, you know, the breaks he got as a kid. But then when he starts printing the things that were the actual journal entries from when he was, you know, in 1983, everything, it just shifts all of a sudden to like it's like, I got spit on again, and you know, it's like, I feed really, off their hunger.
That's really basically, you know, the nature of a diary, because, or like a journal type thing, because you just, you know, everything's written down like in the spur of the moment, and you don't put it in the larger picture, which I guess he did when he wrote in, you know, retrospect.
Exactly, but it's actually funny to see the huge disparity between like the way he looks at his days in Black Flag now versus the way he looked at it when he was there. Back then he was like, you know, their hate only makes me stronger. If they only knew that, that's how.
To be honest, I never noticed. I mean, I've listened to it a couple times, you know, like maybe like two times or something like that. 2 or 3 times.
Well, you should look at the book then, because maybe it's not as clear on the, you know, in the book it reads much more, you know, the difference is much more dramatic.
Oh, wow, yeah, I definitely want to check that out then.
So, well, you say that Rollins has not lost it.
That's right. Old man Rollins.
Old man Rollins. Henry Garfield.
That's it.
He's doing it. He's going to come get you.
Oh, no.
Could you beat him in a fight?
Could I beat Henry Rollins in a fight?
Yeah. I think I could.
Probably not. You know, tell you the truth, tell you an embarrassing truth.
What's
I don't know if it's embarrassing, but I've never been in a fight in my life.
Really?
So
that's not
I
embarrassing.
don't have any street, you know.
I think that's great.
Knowledge. Well, I think it's great too, but I guess to some people, I mean, if I were to get in a fight with Henry Rollins, it would be to my disadvantage.
You know why I think that's great that you've never been in a fight?
Well, thank you.
Do you know why though? Because when we meet, I'm going to beat you up, and you just won't know what to do. You're just going to like put your like limp, like noodly arms in front of your face and go like, "Nyeh," as I pummel you into a pile of just human goo.
You know what?
I wouldn't
I'm really looking forward to it.
And what's your name?
Boris.
Boris?
Yes.
Get ready for the thrashing of your life.
Tell me the time and the place.
I'm going to fight you at the WFMU record fair.
All right.
No, I'm not going to fight you at all. I like you, Boris. All right. Hey, so thanks for calling.
Okay.
All right, you have a good night. Okay,
take care.
Bye. Good friends, good conversation, good radio, good music. Here's something from The Need on WFMU.
She's walking down the street. Me, I'm just invisible, and who or what she walks with makes no difference to me. The people that she meets, she turns them into sideshows. They're just here for their amusement. That's not what I want to be, but I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. The night is black and thick. I wander past your window and I catch a cigarette thrown from a jewel-encrusted hand. It comes on pretty quick, exactly like a crocodile in search of a mirage across the undulating sand. But I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. I don't know why the people want to meet when all they know is that they'll breed like rabbits in the end. 'Cause ordinary people on the street, they never know, but if they can't be rabbits, they'll be friends. And I'm insanely jealous of the people that you see. I'm insanely jealous of the people that aren't me. And I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. I just can't let it out. This feeling of insanity is thicker than a barge upon a shattered heap of coal. I know what it's about, like crying from a nightmare, and the one who lies beside you cannot hear to save a soul. But I'm insanely jealous of the people that you know, and I'm insanely jealous of the places that you go, and I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. The damage that we do is just so powerfully strong, they call it love. And the damage that we do, it just goes on and on and on, not long enough. Cracked and dry, the name is now illegible, and everything is lost upon the cracked and blistered hull. Beneath a yellow sky, the lovers trip beside a ship, but all I hear when they embrace is just a kiss of skulls. And I'm insanely jealous of the people that you see, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that I'm me, and I'm insanely jealous of the places that you go, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you know, and I'm insanely jealous of the hairs upon your path, and I'm insanely jealous of the spiders in your path, and I'm insanely jealous of the stains upon your sheet, and I'm insanely jealous of the stuff inside your feet, and I'm insanely jealous of the things upon your bed, and I'm insanely jealous of the dresses in your head, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you love, and I'm insanely jealous of the fingers in your glove, and I'm insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you.
I woke up, I was lost with only one way to go. When you smile, I don't know what to do, 'cause I can lose everything in a minute or two. It's not fair to put you against all of the years behind, 'cause history kind of pales when it and you are alive. When you smile, I don't know what to do, 'cause I can lose everything in a minute or two, and it seems like the end of the world when you smile. Well, there ain't lived a man who was anything more than bones and sap. But it doesn't take much to hold the possibilities back. Oh, when you smile, I don't know what to do, 'cause I can lose everything in a minute or two. It seems like the end of the world when you smile. When you smile, I don't know what to do, 'cause I can lose everything in a minute or two. It seems like the end of the world when you smile. When you smile.
Loose the sand, cyan catch. Always sitting by your side, always by your side. That cat's something I can't explain. Gentle, you're a witch. You're the left side, he's the right side. Oh no, that cat's something I can't explain. go to sea. Be a hip cat, be a ship's cat, somewhere, anywhere. That cat's something I can't explain. Sifting sand, hiding around on the ground, he'll be found when you're around. That gets something I can't explain.
All right. Hey, everybody. You're listening to WFMU. My name is Tom Scharpling here with you until 11 o'clock tonight. We are now officially past the point of no return. It is 9:33, which means we are closer to the end than to the beginning. We are here until 11 o'clock at that point. Small Change comes in and does his thing with Nickel and Dime Radio. Hey, we just heard from Pink Floyd. I want to send that out to... I'm sending out to a member of the... He's a friend of Tom, Jack. You requested Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast off the Adam Hard Mother album, my friend. Unfortunately, I don't think Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast is on Adam Hard Mother. I looked at it. I didn't see it. That's one of those Pink Floyd albums I'm not familiar with. So I just went to a tried and true Piper at the Gates of Dawn. We heard Lucifer Sam. Before that, more tried and true music from the Dream Syndicate's newly reissued album, The Days of Wine and Roses. With bonus tracks. Look at this. 2, 4, 6, 8 bonus tracks. Wow, holy moly. We heard When You Smile. The folks at Rhino doing another great reissue job. Before that, Noise Toys. From an album called Noise Toys for Girls and Boys. We heard I Am a Bug. And I think that was requested by Julie, if I remember correctly. I don't have the paper. What was that? Kate 1. Kate 1. I'm being told by Dave, my cohort, that it was Kate 1 who requested it. So I am playing that for Kate 1. Consider your request played. Another request. Celia called up at the beginning of the show and asked me to play Insanely Jealous by the Soft Boys from their Underwater Moonlight album, and I did so. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 requests for people. Making dreams come true. The Four Corners before that from their album Say You're a Scream. We heard The Pastel Queen, Compassionate Lotus Blossom of Immense Destruction, from their record Say You're a Scream, which I just said is on the Kindercore record label. And starting us off from a various artists collection on the Toyo record label, entitled The Structure of Scientific Misconceptions of Scientific Misconstructions. We heard The Need with Resurrection. Hey, the phone number, 201-200-9368. It is Open Phone Tuesday. We are talking about anything you want to talk about, but a running thread has been, based on the fact that Michael Jordan has now come out of retirement for the second time in his career. We were talking about when. Actually, we were talking about who do you think of when you think of people who stay on the big stage for too long, who wear out their welcome, don't know when to say goodnight. In any form of entertainment or any form of anything, for that matter. 201-200-9368. The email address, toms@wfmu.org, and that is the address to email if you want to become a friend of Tom, the new name for the exciting club which we're starting. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
About artists being over the hill, I think that Michael Jackson is definitely among those.
You think Michael Jackson is over the hill?
Yes.
Now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 15. I'm teeny.
You're 15? Oh, hey, it's a friend of the show who is a volunteer at WFMU calling. How's school going?
It's all right.
You getting picked on?
Actually, I did today.
You got picked on?
Do you want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, who picked on you?
My entire gym class.
Your entire gym class? Oh, that's because you were bragging over the radio about skipping out of gym class.
No. I was being a very good student and volunteering to instruct the class in warm-ups, and I was booed at by my entire gym class.
You know what?
What?
You know who I'm siding with on this one?
The gym class?
No, I'm siding with you.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm siding with you. Why did they boo? Because you tried to supervise warm-ups?
Well, I volunteered to do so.
So the gym teacher is looking for someone to do warm-ups?
Yes.
And is saying, who wants to lead the class in warm-ups?
And I said that I would, and I was booed.
Now, why
but I still did it.
I thought you skipped out of gym all the time. I guess that came to an end.
I'm trying to make an effort to,
Do you know what Arnold Schwarzenegger says about today's youth?
What?
He runs the President's Council for Physical Fitness, for God's sake. He said that you're all flabby and sloth-like. Your generation.
I agree with that. That's why I'm trying to do my best in gym class.
He said that you're just a bunch of sloths.
I agree.
And you know what else he said? You should see his new movie, Collateral Damage,
I don't
in
agree
theaters
with that.
soon. It will be in movie theaters in the year 2047 because it's based. You know what the movie's about? It's completely horrifying. Have you heard about this movie?
I thought there was some terrorism.
Yeah, exactly. It's like his family gets killed in a building that gets blown up by terrorists, and the government won't do anything about it. So he takes the matters into his own hands.
That's pretty horrible.
Yeah. So that movie will literally be released when you are 90. You can look forward to that on your 90th birthday.
I'll be in shape.
You will be in shape. Arnold Schwarzenegger will have shuffled off this. Is it shuffled off this mortal coil? I don't know. Whatever it is. He will be dead for 60 years at that point, and you can go see his movie on your 90th birthday.
All right, I will do that. But Michael Jackson, definitely.
Did you watch the MTV Video Music Awards?
No, I did not.
You didn't see him come out and dance with NSYNC?
No.
Are you an NSYNC fan, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No.
Are a lot of kids your age fans of NSYNC?
I guess so. Isn't that the demographic that they're kind of marketing to, the 15-year-olds?
Well, like amongst your friends, are your friends?
No, I don't. I don't really have many friends, and the friends that I do have don't like NSYNC.
What do they like?
Well, one.
Well, what do you like? What's your favorite group? I'm trying to get a handle on today's youth.
Pavement.
Pavement? What?
Pavement?
You don't like Pavement.
I do.
Okay, you like Pavement. Who else do you like?
Oh God. What about Robin Hitchcock? I like
Okay.
a lot. To be more mainstream, I guess Radiohead.
Okay.
Why am I doing this?
Very hip.
Well, my gym class doesn't think so.
Your gym class booed you.
Yes.
Now, did they boo you because you tried to supervise this thing, or for other reasons?
They don't like me.
Was this like the culmination of some long-running thing?
No, it's not a culmination because it happens rather frequently.
But
at least when they're in large groups, they can say things to me.
So are you like an outcast at your school?
I wouldn't like to think that. I don't know. Maybe.
Here's the way. Where do you eat lunch in your school?
Well, I go home for lunch. So
Okay.
I eat lunch at home.
Okay. How many friends do you have at your school? 0 to 3.
0 to 3.
3
Well,
to
2.
4 to 6.
2.
Or 6 and above.
2.
So you have the 0 to 3.
0 to
okay. 0 to 3. Okay. Yeah, you're not making the greatest case here for you. Let me think of another statistical question I can ask you. Do you get along with your teachers better than your fellow classmates?
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy. Let
Do
me
I
think
have to re-sign up for that?
No, you're
Friends
in.
of Tom?
You're in it already. Don't worry.
I can do your website.
Anybody who signed up for Scharpling's Army is already enlisted in Friends of Tom. We're just changing the name of it. Okay?
To be more...
I don't want military stuff going on now. If people are actually going to get killed, you know what I mean? Like, how dumb is it that I'm here with, like, this thing of, like, hey, here's my radio thing.
It's prophetic.
It's an army. I'm running my own army. I know.
You're prophetic, Tom. You just... you just had it in your mind, and then it happened.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know what, though? The phones are going crazy here.
Well,
so I'm going to say goodnight to you.
Have a good night, Tom.
Oh, thank you. Good night. Thanks for calling. This show knows no boundaries in terms of demographics. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
You know, I think went on too long. I mean, obviously they're not around anymore, but was Mo Howard, Three Stooges.
Do you think the Three Stooges outstayed their welcome?
Yeah. I mean, Curly had a stroke, and then they got Shemp. And then, I don't know, Shemp didn't want to do it anymore. And then they got Joe Besser and Joe DeRita. And I don't know, it didn't work out. They started making, like, feature pictures, and, you know, they were supposed to do 2-reelers.
Are you a big Three Stooges fan?
Yeah.
Can I just say, I think the Three Stooges suck so hard that...
Why do you say that?
I think it's the unfunniest stuff that has ever been committed to film.
They're some of the funniest things ever made.
No, some of the unfunniest things ever made.
I don't agree.
Oh, the Three Stooges. That's horrifying.
Well, you know what it is? You probably saw the later films, because the earlier ones are more subtle.
Oh, no, I've seen plenty of them.
No, but the earlier ones I'm talking about when it had Curly were more subtle.
Yeah, it was real subtle when the three of them were in a tool shed. That was real subtle. The three of them somehow cramped in a 4x4 tool shed, and they started hitting each other with Well,
that's funny.
With saws.
They were groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
Because they were like the first kind of live action animation, if you think about it. I mean, they weren't animated, but they were like a live cartoon.
You know what I say?
You don't think that's groundbreaking?
I hate the Three Stooges. You know what
But why?
I don't think it's funny.
But why? You can't just say they're not funny. But why?
Sure, I can. Why can't I say it's not funny?
Well, you can say it, but you got to back it up.
Doesn't make me laugh. I've just backed it up.
You don't think Curly getting hit in the head with a halibut or something isn't funny?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
I say with the Three Stooges, you know what I say? There's all these people who try to say, guys like the Three Stooges and girls don't like the Three Stooges. You know what? Then call me a girl. I'm a girl because I hate the Three Stooges.
Well, I've also heard that women don't like Monty Python, but I don't think that's true. I know some girls who do. But
I don't mind Monty Python.
But I think more men like Monty Python, I think.
Than girls.
Yeah, but there are some women who like them. But the Three Stooges are
girls
right
hate all this stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe you didn't realize.
I
They
don't know.
hate all of it.
Maybe because I don't meet too many girls. I don't know. But I'm surprised that you don't like the Three Stooges because I know you like comedy and you're a fan of it, and I'm surprised.
I hate the Three Stooges.
Really?
That's the worst stuff on earth.
I don't know. I think they might very well be the best ever. Better than the Marx Brothers, better than Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
They blow away Chaplin.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sure they do.
No, you're entitled to your opinion.
They stink, and you know it.
No.
Which one do you find the funniest?
Oh, Larry, no doubt.
You like Larry?
Yeah.
You know which one I find the funniest?
None of them.
Thank you.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know what? No, you know which one I find the funniest? Joe DeRita.
Joe DeRita?
Crazy
that was when
Joe
it was
DeRita.
Stretching.
He's the funniest one of all.
No.
You know why? Because it's funny to hear Three Stooges fans get all upset that I would say that Joe DeRita is my favorite, and that's funny.
So you've had a lot of discussion with Three Stooges fans to know that?
Whenever I meet one that can actually talk, yes.
So like you get into arguments with
It just
people?
doesn't. I get into it's like arguing with like a caveman.
Right, but you just poo-poo them instantly. Like, don't even start with the Three Stooges. I don't like them.
I've seen the body of work. It's horrible.
Really, but they're short though. They're only like 15.
Not
minutes
short.
long.
You know how short they should be? So short that there's like no actual film in it. It should start off like it should start off with the credits and then that's it.
You don't even like the silly music or they have some funny one-liners.
They do not.
It wasn't all violence. They had some funny lines.
Sure. The Three Stooges wasn't all violence.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the gist of it
Oh,
was...
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Who wrote those episodes? Who wrote those episodes for the Three Stooges? Was that Dorothy Parker writing them?
No, it wasn't Dorothy Parker.
Who was it? Who'd they get on to write those episodes? Robert Benchley? Was this the Algonquin Round Table helping craft these episodes? There's no subtlety with the Three Stooges. How dare you?
Maybe you just don't...
Get off my phone. You are dismissed. Three Stooges. WFMU, you're on the air.
Oh, wow. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to comment about the girl that was on earlier.
Yes?
I just wanted to tell her that, I only have one friend.
Okay.
She shouldn't feel too bad about being an outcast.
So you only have one friend?
Yeah, only one. And
Does
she doesn't even go to my school.
Now, can I ask you a question? Does this friend actually exist, or is this like an invisible friend?
She exists. Yes.
Okay. Now she doesn't go to your school?
Nah.
Where is she? In the same area?
Sort of.
Now, how old are you?
14.
14.
Going on 15 now.
Going on. Well, usually when you are 14, 15 is the next stop in the
Usually. Sometimes.
on the age trail.
For me, it is.
For you, it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you some questions. So if I was to ask you the question that your friends between 0 and 3 is the amount of friends you have, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you get along with your teachers better than your fellow classmates?
No.
No?
No.
So you get along with your fellow classmates better than your teachers?
No, I don't get along with either.
With anybody, okay. And where do you eat lunch?
At a table.
Who do you eat lunch with?
Probably about 2 people that I met, but they're not really my friends. They just kind
Okay.
of put up with me.
They put up with you. They're not putting. Where's this low self-esteem coming from? You sound like a decent sort.
Well, not many people like the stuff I do at my age.
Well, what do you do at your age?
What do I do?
Yeah. What don't they like?
Well, usually people my age. They hang out at the mall.
Mm-hmm. And where do you hang out?
I don't hang out.
You don't hang. Where would you hang out?
I don't know.
Now, what kind of music do you like? Do you like different music than they do?
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff do you like?
A pretty wide variety, like a lot of mainstream classic rock. That's pretty good.
Like who? Like name a couple people.
Pink Floyd.
Okay.
Zeppelin.
And kids at your school don't like that stuff?
No.
There's got to be some kids who like that, right?
Yeah, but I can't find them. They're hidden.
They're hidden?
Yeah.
You know where they're not hidden? You know where you have to look? Look for cigarette smoke, and you'll probably find them. They're probably smoking cigarettes somewhere behind a car in the school parking lot. Not that you should smoke, because I'm completely against smoking. But those kids who like that kind of music, or at least when I was in high school, they were the ones smoking cigarettes.
Okay, I gotcha. I'll look for it.
You know where you can find them? Do you have like a
bathroom?
Yeah, well, obviously you have a bathroom in your school.
You'd be surprised. There's only 2 bathrooms.
In the whole school? What is this, a middle school or a high school?
High school.
In high school.
Yeah.
Is this in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay, now, do you have a shop in school? Like, you know what I mean? Like a metal shop or a wood shop?
No, we're not that advanced.
There's nothing like, you don't have any kind of...
No.
What do you have, like home ec?
Nope.
In your school? You don't have any of that stuff?
No, it's cheap school.
No.
I'm dead serious.
There's no like shop in your school where you have to build like a key rack.
No.
Or like an ashtray.
An ashtray. You're promoting drugs again. You know, you shouldn't do that. That's bad.
I'm just going back from my school memories. People made ashtrays. Not for them, but for their parents, I think.
Okay.
So you now tell me about yourself. You have one friend who, how far away does this friend live?
About 30-minute drive.
Okay. Now why can't you should just try. You know what you should do? People aren't putting up with you. You're a good person. Take some pride in yourself. And I'll tell you one thing, high school.
Oh, so you're giving me advice now?
I'm giving you advice. Take notes. You have your notebook out?
Yeah. Yeah.
High school is about as easy as it gets in a lot of ways. You shouldn't take it so seriously.
So wait, high school is easy and I shouldn't take it seriously?
I mean, you take your studies seriously, obviously. That's something to take seriously. But
Why?
don't take... Why?
Yeah.
Because then you can have good grades and you can go to college. Do you want to go to college?
No.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Why should I?
Well, what are your grades like?
This year I don't know, because, school just started.
But in general, are you a good student?
Yeah.
But you don't want to go to college. Why is that?
Why should I?
Because you can get smarter.
What did they teach you in college that they don't teach you in high school? Because in my high school, we just learn.
Do you want to know the only thing I learned in high school that has been of any value to me, maybe I shouldn't be telling this, is typing. I learned how to type, and I am maybe one of the best typists you will ever see.
Oh, I don't know.
It is when I type, I'm telling you right now, it is a work of art. How many words a minute can you type?
I don't know. What do you, time yourself?
When you learn how to type in a typing class, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
What are you talking about?
Have you taken a typing class?
In middle school.
Oh, in middle school.
Yeah, on Mavis Beacon.
Oh, Mavis Beacon. Yeah, well, guess what? The typing class I took, we were timed on how fast we could type. And guess who won every typing race? Me. There were actually typing races where the teacher would give us an assignment, and we would have to type. And I could type faster than everybody.
Wow. You should be really proud of that.
I'm going to name something on it. Let's see how fast you can type. What index finger right hand? What letter is that?
Yeah, but I don't type.
Index finger right hand. What letter?
No.
Index finger right hand. Just tell me.
Okay, wait. Say it again.
Index finger on your right hand. What letter? Natural position.
I don't know.
J. It's J.
Come on, that's not fair.
Middle finger right hand.
That's not fair.
Middle
I don't
finger
learn
right hand.
That way.
Middle finger right hand. K.
K. See?
Ring finger right hand.
Colon.
No, it's L. Pinky right hand.
Okay.
Pinky right hand.
Colon.
Yes, you're correct. Although we call it sem, because it's technically semicolon until you hit shift, and then it becomes a colon.
That's really great. I really don't care. I don't.
What? How dare you blow me off like this? I'm trying to help you through your high school years.
I don't have a typing class, so.
I thought you did, though. But let's get back to what I was talking about. That was when I was saying that
Wait. Since when do you get to direct the conversation?
Since I'm the one controlling the microphone.
Well,
Can you do this?
Is a microphone, isn't it?
Well, you know what? You can talk into it all. Can you do this with your telephone? Can you add echo to your voice? Can you do that? No, you can't. I can do that with mine. Well, try it. Let's hear it.
Well, maybe I don't want to show you my powers.
Your powers.
My powers.
What are you, Spider-Man?
Spider-Woman.
Try it.
Come on. You have to be politically correct.
You hear the echo? You've got echo in your voice now. You know why? I'm doing that. Not you. Me.
Sure.
Do you hear that echo in your voice?
Yeah, well, how do I know you even know how to use the echo machine?
Because I just shut it off right now.
Right
I shut it off, and now I'm shutting it back on. Shutting it off, shutting it back on. Shutting it off, shutting it back on. What?
It's an assistant.
An assistant?
Yeah.
There's
you
no...
can't work an echo machine.
How dare you accuse me of not being able to work an echo machine?
Sorry.
I'm getting in an argument with a 14-year-old.
Oh, no. What are we going to do?
Oh, now you're getting sarcastic. You know what? Now I know why you've only got one friend. You're very unpersonable. You're a very unlikable...
You're hurting my self-esteem.
Oh, see, now I'm the bad guy.
I'm
going
to go tell my mom.
Oh,
Really
go get your mother. Can you put your mother on for a second?
No.
Why not? Tell your mother the radio DJ wants to talk to her.
She ran away. Yes. She's out.
She's out?
Yes, she's out.
But seriously, let's talk seriously now. I think what you need to do...
Seriously.
Oh, see, now you're making fun of me again.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just go.
Would you... Oh, now you're rushing me.
No.
But what you need to do is just try to enjoy yourself. Try to have fun. Be a little more outgoing. Are you a more introverted person?
No, I'm fairly outgoing, if I had the chance.
If you had the chance, well, you should just be a little more outgoing. Try to do things that get involved and meet friends. Well, do you have any clubs at your school?
Yeah, like the prayer club.
Well, maybe you don't join the prayer club. I'm sure there's another club. Are there any other clubs?
Probably.
You need to find out. You need to get more involved. That's what you need to do.
Wait, were you in clubs when you were in high school?
Yes, I was.
Like what?
The Cool Kids Club.
Oh, well, I'm in that club.
Apparently you're not.
How do you know? Apparently
Because you've only got one friend who lives a half hour away by car.
No?
But you know how far that is if you were to walk
people
it?
Can't make up a club?
Not when they're a half hour car ride away.
Why not?
That's not a club.
Yes, it is.
No, you've each got different branches of a club, and there's only one member in each branch.
No, we meet. Go look up club in the dictionary. That's a club. Just because there's two people doesn't mean it's not a club.
I'm talking about in your school, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know what they called me in school?
Tom?
Mr. Cool.
Ooh. Wow.
You know what I did one time in school?
Let me guess. You were smoking in the bathroom.
No, I never smoke. I don't approve of smoking. But you know what I did? I rode this skateboard down the hall, and then the principal yelled at me. You know what I told him? To shove it.
Wow. You must have been a real rebel.
You know what happened then when I said that?
Got detention?
Absolutely. But you know what happened after that? I was the coolest kid in school. They called me the American hero.
Yeah, I'm sure that really happened.
Was my
too.
nickname.
American hero?
Yes.
Why didn't you name your show that? The American hero.
Because I'm not in high school anymore.
So?
Has anybody picked on you in high school?
Yeah.
Like how?
Like, haha, look at that freak.
Well, I'm sure you're not a freak, though.
I didn't say I was.
But what were they? Were they like
football players.
Football players?
Football players.
Do you hate football players?
No, I'm not prejudiced against football players.
But,
I don't really know any football players, but I don't like the football players to make fun of me.
I don't like that either.
No?
Next time the football players make fun of you, you know what you do? You tell them that you're a friend of Tom, and that Tom's going to come down there and beat the living tar out of them.
The living tar.
I'm going to be like your, you ever see that movie My Bodyguard with Chris Makepeace? And Matt Dillon was picking on him? You never, it was written by Tony Bill. No, I'm just...
No idea what you're talking about.
Well, it was this movie where this kid was like this, for lack of a better word, a dork in high school. Not that you're a dork, by any stretch.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But then he hired this bodyguard, right? and this bodyguard like showed up and like beat the living tar out of this kid Moody who was picking on him. And this bodyguard was like this huge guy. So you know what? When you get picked on, you call me, and I'm going to come to your high school, and I'm going to start busting melons. Okay?
You say so, Tom.
I will do it for you. What's your name? What's your name?
Sorry, my mommy says I can't give my name to strangers.
Your name? Oh, but you.
No, actually, I'm Kate 1. I requested Noise Toys.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
No, I'm lying to you. I just made that up. Actually, I'm, wait, you said I was Julie or something. On the air?
Okay, but you're Kate. What's the name of the record that this Noise Toys, what's it called?
For boys and girls.
Okay, and what label's it on?
I don't know.
That's the right answer. So anyway, Kate 1. Why Kate 1, by the way? Is that internet? Is that a thing of being online? Is that just like you think you're still online when you're having normal conversations?
No.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
Every teenager spends their life watching TV and on the internet.
I'll tell you right now, Kate 1.
Yes.
Whenever anybody gets on you at school, you call me, and I'm going to the school, and I will thrash them. I will thrash them. I will unleash hell on them. Okay?
That's kind of violent, Tom.
But I want you to be safe at school.
Yeah, but still.
And not feel picked on.
Violence isn't the answer.
Violence isn't the answer, but you know what? You're a friend of Tom, and no one calls a friend of Tom a freak.
So, Tom.
Yes?
How did you get this radio show?
You know, I don't know.
No, like, seriously, because with my one friend,
yes,
you know, our club, the Cool Kid Club, we were thinking of having a radio show because there was, like, openings a while ago, like...
At school?
No, on WFMU.
There were openings?
Yeah, like, last June or something.
And
we were trying to figure out how you, like, apply, but we couldn't.
Well, you know what you do? You email me, and I'll put you in touch with the right people. Seriously, okay?
Seriously?
I will tell you who to contact at the station.
Wow.
All right? And remember, if they pick on you, all you do is email me, and I show up at your school. You know what I show up at your school with?
A machine gun.
No, not a machine gun, a bat.
Sorry.
And then I say, you point out, Kate 1, show me who it is. Wham! Football player. Wham! The bat swings. Down go the kids. And then you know what I do? I run. So because I would get arrested for doing that. Because I'm an adult.
Oh. How old are you?
Older than you.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Okay, Kate 1. I appreciate you calling.
So you're leaving me now?
Yes, you're not my co-host. And at some point, I do have to move on. I've given you more.
You spent like half an hour talking to that guy that was arguing with you about Primus.
How long do you think I've just spent talking to you? How long do you think? You think 2 minutes?
15 minutes.
Yeah, 50. So I'm sorry, you didn't get 21 minutes. What, do you have to be first all the time?
Yeah, Tom. You got me all figured out.
Well, you're the one who, you apparently want more airtime than anyone else.
That's right, Tom. All the time. I call on every radio show, and I try to talk to them, and I want as much airtime as I possibly can.
You deserve to get picked on at school with this attitude.
That was really hurtful, Tom.
What do you think what you just said to me was?
That wasn't hurtful.
Your sarcasm hurts more than you know.
Okay, Tom.
It's a weapon, you know. Sarcasm.
Is it?
Yes. Be gentle with that sarcasm. It hurts people's feelings, like mine.
Well, you hurt my feelings.
How'd I hurt your feelings?
You implied I was what was it? A dork. That's what it was.
No, I said in this movie, Chris Makepeace was a dork, and he kept getting picked on by Moody.
Sure, Tom.
You're not a dork. You know why? Because you're listening to the show, and you know what that means? It means you're a friend of Tom, and you know what that means? It means you're cool.
Oh, of course I'm cool. Oh, am I in your Cool Kids Club now?
No, you're going to be in the Friends of Tom when you email toms@wfmu.org.
I can't remember that. That's too long to remember.
Oh. The video game generation. What are we going to do with them?
Hey, Tom, back off. I do not play video games.
But can you remember Tom S. at WFMU.org?
Maybe.
Maybe one of the shorter email addresses you've ever heard?
No, probably not.
Well, you know what? I've helped you as much as I could, young person. You're on your own.
Young person.
Okay?
I'm not even a person now. I'm a young person.
Okay, you're a person. How's that? You happy?
Yeah, I'm happy now, Tom.
You're so sarcastic, it's horrifying.
No, I'm happy now. Really.
Okay, well, thank you. You have a good night.
Okay.
Okay? Good luck at school.
Thanks.
Have fun.
You too.
I don't go to school.
How do I know?
Because I just told you.
How do I know you're not lying?
Because I never lie to anyone ever.
Yeah. Okay, Tom.
Oh, how dare it. Oh, this is a horror show. You and your sarcasm. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, hey, you're listening to WFMU East Orange, WXHD Mount Hope, worldwide on the World Wide Web at WFMU.org. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Scott Feinstein. I'm Larry Fine's grandson.
Okay. Your grandfather,
That's right.
Your grandfather was a very talentless man.
I don't appreciate you saying that.
Well, it's completely true.
He entertained millions of people
Well,
and will continue to entertain millions of people.
More power to him. He's never entertained me for 1 second.
That doesn't mean he's talentless.
By my book, it does. Hey, who do you...
You mean to tell me that you never watched the Three Stooges and laughed?
Never. Never once. Never ever.
Once.
Never, ever, ever. Never, never, ever have they made me laugh.
You know what? I want to let you in on a little something.
What's that?
I've never really admitted this before, and okay, I just have to gather my composure here because this is a big announcement in my life. I never really liked the Three Stooges much either.
And this is your grandfather you're speaking about.
That's right. And you want to know?
What?
They were real, I can't say the word, but all 5 of them were real. You know what I'm saying in real life?
Yes. Well, thank you.
And I'm planning on writing a book, actually, about their lives and about their personalities and the things that people don't know, secrets, little things that only the family knows.
Well, when the book is ready, you're more than welcome to come on and promote it.
Would you be interested in hearing a few things that I think most of the world doesn't know, and probably some Three Stooges buffs would really get a kick out of hearing?
Throw us one. We'll get one. There's a little a little teaser.
Well, for instance, my grandfather, Pop-Up Larry, he had a foot fetish, similar to the types of foot fetishes that a lot of guys have. But he had a weird twist to his foot fetish. He also wanted to shave the woman bald on her head, finish his business. You know what I mean?
That is horrifying. That is completely horrifying.
And
allegedly,
Uncle Curly. Now, he was very interested in psychology, and he was a psychology buff. He never went to high school or college, but he was very well read in all things psychological, and not too many people know that. And Uncle Mo, he dealt weed on the side.
Back in the 30s.
Yeah. Well, no. He was doing it in the 50s.
In the 50s. Okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of beatnik friends, and eventually he moved out to Vegas and was dealing out there for a while, and it was pretty good for him.
All right. Well, when the book is done, you contact the station. I'll have you on the show.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Bye. FMU, you're on the air.
Hey, is this Tom?
Yes, it is.
Yo, I was listening to what you were saying about the Three Stooges, and I just want to let you know that my name is Stacey Fine, and I've been accused all my life of being related to Larry Fine, and it really struck a chord when you said that they were violent, because I think they're completely non-violent, and I can't understand, like I almost think that you're as dumb as you think they are because you think they're violent when they're absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so they're not hitting people with all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's like jazz. I mean, it's like they're like playing.
Jazz.
What they're doing is they're playing. They're totally playing.
Mm-hmm.
Violence is destructive.
Well,
Like,
all movies are playing.
no, all movies
they're not?
are artifice.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, so now we're just going to get into semantics.
well, okay, here I have another sad story. When I heard this, I never heard your show before tonight,
Okay.
and I heard this. I heard what Lisa T or Lucy T or Lucy One. What was her name? Rachel One. Anyway, someone called you, and she was talking for a very long time, and
Yes.
she was very funny.
Uh-huh.
Even if she only has one friend, she's hilarious, and she'll probably have friends later in life.
Uh-huh.
And are people supposed to like throw jabs at you? Is that the point of the show? Because I think there's another.
No, that's not the point of the show. Throw jabs at. Yeah, that's the point.
What is the show on?
I just come here to get made fun of by everybody. That's how I spend my time.
Because there's another DJ on FMU I think has the greatest show. But what is your show? What's like the idea of your show? Like if you were doing PR for yourself, what is the point of and name of your show?
The name of the show?
Yeah.
The best show on WFMU.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool. All right. Good night.
What? That's it? You don't have anything else to say?
I have a child, and he could wake up at any minute.
Put your kid on.
Huh?
Put your kid on for a second.
He's sleeping.
Wake him up. How old is your kid?
He's going to be 1 in 2 weeks. Happy birthday, Brave.
Brave?
Brave.
Brave as in...
Home of the brave.
Was that how the name came about?
No, he's named for a woman's fight against breast cancer.
Oh, well, that's
he was
nice.
brave.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
your show is the greatest show? Has it been written about? Do newspapers write about it?
There are articles, yes.
Cool.
Just do a search on Google.
All right, so are you sure that the Three Stooges are really violent?
I'm positive.
Prove it.
They hit each other with things.
And what about children hitting each other? Is that violent, do you think? Or isn't that supposed to be like love amongst boys?
You mean kids hitting each other?
Yeah, like a boy will pull someone's hair, and that's actually an expression of love. It's like they like that person and want the person to react. So, like, that's what kids do. And, like, apparently, like, when, baboons or men, like, fight against each other, then they become friends afterwards. They bond, right?
Yeah. But they're still doing it through an act of violence. Doesn't matter how they transmute it.
Okay. Gotta go.
Oh, you don't want to play the semantics game now. How
I'm not
dare
smart
you?
enough. I change diapers all day. Sorry, bye.
You know what I say? Oh, you hang up on me. How dare you? Oh, I give up. WFMU, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom, it's Julian Casablancas from the Strokes. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing okay.
Hey, congratulations on all the press.
Thank you. I personally think we deserve it. I wanted to make a request, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you could play Butttown by Iggy Pop. It's on Brick by Brick.
I would rather not, actually. I mean, I'm not a big late period Iggy Pop fan.
Okay, how about Homeboy off the same record?
No, see, again, it's still late period. If it's off the same record, that's still the same period.
How about Cold Metal off of Instinct?
No, I hate that record. I know that song, and I don't like that.
I'm sorry. Earlier, I guess maybe I didn't speak clearly enough. But you know who this is, right?
Yeah, you said it's Julian from the Strokes. I mean, it's exciting to have you on the air, but I really would rather not play any of that stuff.
Thanks anyway, dude.
Oh, thank you, Julian. Okay. That's kind of exciting. Julian from the Strokes checking in. How about that Strokes record? They're pulling it from release because it has the song New York City Cops on it, which where they say New York City cops, they ain't too smart. Where it's like, oh my God, this is so horrifying. This like in the light of the incident, which everybody refers to the complete tragedy of the World Trade Center, of all the people. People have now just tried to reduce it to an incident. But now the Strokes have pulled their record from release for a few weeks while they reformat it with a new song in place of New York City Cops. The phone number, 201-200-9368. The email address, toms@wfmu.org. Hey, you're on the air.
How you doing, Tom? This is Tom.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
I think you should play the Iggy Pop song.
You think so?
Yeah.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, I think anything off of that Brick by Brick album is some of his best work. It's good stuff.
So you think, is that up? So do you think, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Iggy Pop to you as a guy, has he worn out his welcome?
Geez, that's a good question. There was just an article in some magazine, and they had him, like, driving around New York City with his, like, 22-year-old model girlfriend. And I think he's living the life, man, you know, if he could still... Actually, his new album is pretty decent, too.
Yeah, I thought his new album stunk.
Yeah, well, there's a couple decent songs on there.
Yeah, but I mean, now this gets back to it. It's like you're obviously a fan of him, right?
Actually, Brick by Brick is when I first was introduced to him.
Now, are you a fan of the Stooges?
Not really.
So you're actually not a fan of his work with the Stooges?
No.
You're more a fan of the stuff like, like the current stuff?
Yes.
Well, you're kind of the exception to the rule, I guess.
Possibly.
But, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So, I mean, have you heard the stuff like Funhouse or,
I've heard some of it, yeah. I listened to, some of it, yeah.
And it didn't do it for you?
I mean, I didn't dislike it. I prefer the newer stuff.
Okay, well, more power to you. I mean, I kind of like the other stuff.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm not trying to convert you either. I just think, I guess being it's your show, you could play anything you want.
Yeah, you know what?
Or not play anything.
I'm glad people like what they like. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I look at it. Is like,
right.
I'm happy when people find things that appeal to them.
Cool.
But it's so
I caught part of your last comments on this New York City cop song thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a cop, and I'm actually working right now, and I don't know why they would pull something like that.
I mean, I've heard the song before. The song's been around a long time. It's actually, I mean, it's. I don't think it's any comment that anyone would take as having anything to disparage the courage and the bravery that that the police have shown throughout this whole thing. I don't think anybody would take it that way. I don't. Well, you know what? If they feel that they want to err on the side of that, then good for them, and I respect them wanting to do that. I just think that people should worry about the things that are truly offensive and try to
totally agree.
Where
that
things.
Song, you ever hear the song "Cop Killer" by Body Count?
Yeah,
it's like one of my favorite songs.
Well, I mean, the whole song is not. It's not. I mean, it's coming from a place of like injustice. Like it's not.
Sure.
It's not coming from a place of just random hatred of every cop. So you're a cop?
Yeah.
So are you on, have you been working down at Ground Zero?
Actually, I'm more up towards the George Washington Bridge.
Okay. And are things
I'm in Jersey, not in New York.
Okay. Well, are things starting to get back to normal a little bit in terms of going over the bridge?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. How's it? I guess because the Holland Tunnel will be closed forever.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
You have a good night.
Okay.
Okay.
Buddy.
All right. Bye. Hey, the phone number 201-200-9368. It is Open Phone Tuesday. My name is Tom Scharpling. I'm here, joined by, on the other side of the glass, Dave. And we are talking about the idea of people who have outstayed their welcome. Who has outstayed their welcome? And Michael Jordan, I think, is reluctant to leave the stage for whatever reason. He refuses to admit that his time has passed. Hey, here's something you should keep in mind. WFMU's fall 2001 schedule goes into effect this coming week, Monday morning, October 1st. It will be running until May. You can go to WFMU's website, which is WFMU.org, and take a look at the schedule in either table form or as a comprehensive listing with show blurbs and archive and playlist information. And if you can't get to the schedule online, we will be doing a mail out to listeners in a few weeks, so you can look for that. FMU, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's Mark calling.
Hey, Mark.
From Sparklehorse.
Mark from Sparklehorse.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting all the stars tonight. Mark? Oh. We lost him. FMU, you're on the air.
Good evening, Tom. How are you tonight?
Doing good?
Glad to hear it. Just want to make a comparison between Michael Jordan and Kiss.
You want to make a comparison?
Yeah, just saying how they basically are overstayed their welcome. They're more concerned about the media than their own general will, and they're definitely a band that really should have called it quits a while back.
Okay. So were you a Kiss fan?
Yes, I was growing up.
And at what point did you feel that they dropped the ball?
Probably like the Love Gun album back in '78. Just when you know that instead of writing good songs, they were more concerned with like Kiss dolls and Kiss color forms and Kiss, that horrible Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park movie.
Yeah, so you even got sick of them before a lot of people did.
Yeah,
and a lot of people would still consider Love Gun. And Love Gun to me is horrifying.
Absolutely.
Because it's, first of all, what's the deal with the production on these Kiss records? That people at that, isn't it amazing the Kiss at that point were making just a truckload of money, and people had recorded albums that sounded so much better than these Kiss records like 8 years earlier, which were just like the peak of studio technology and all that. And these Kiss records sounded like they were recorded in a closet.
Especially Hotter Than Hell, Dynasty, just horrible, horrible sounding albums. You're right.
The guitars sound so reedy and the drums sound like they're just like cardboard boxes, and it's amazing that, and I guess that's just a testament to how Kiss were concerned about not spending a whole lot of time in the studio, maybe.
Exactly. Just kind of like now with the recent Psycho Circus alleged Kiss album that came out recently.
You mean with Peter Criss drumming on like 2 songs?
Exactly. You know, they had to have the producer going, all right, listen, bass, snare, bass, bass, snare. Come on, you can do it. Bass, snare, bass, bass, snare. Then they just gave up and got someone else.
Yeah, Kiss are just like a whole. That's like the longest story. I could talk about Kiss like until. Oh, I could talk about Kiss all the live long day.
And what would be like the one thing you'd want to share with your fans right now, whether it's disgust or whatever, that made you think, oh my God, they really stepped over the taste of, you know.
For Kiss?
Yeah.
For me, it's always the thing with them feeling that they're doing it for the fans.
Exactly.
Where all they are doing is taking advantage of the fans' good graces, that the fans are kind enough to buy their merchandise, so naturally they take advantage of it.
Exactly.
They look at it as an opportunity to just ream their fans.
And the fact of $80 tickets from the last tour and $35 shirts weren't bad enough. When you log on to their website, someone told me about this, and I thought it was a sick joke. The first thing you see is the Kiss coffin.
Yeah,
for $4,500, which I think may be a little untimely under the most recent circumstances.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're. It's like Michael Jordan. At least, you know what the thing with him coming back is, like, he's donating his whole 2001 season salary to the victims of the World Trade Center,
which is a classic move. However, how much is he going to make in? He's the part owner of the team. How much is he going to make in jersey sales?
Yeah, well, he had to divest himself of ownership of the team to play.
Oh, okay.
That's like a league rule. You can't do both.
Kind of like what Mario Lemieux did.
In the NBA, you can't do it.
Oh, in the NHL you could. Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know
have
that.
to.
Thanks
You have
for clearing that
to.
up.
You know, if you own like Magic Johnson, when he came back, he owned a part of the Lakers. He had to. Yeah, it's almost like a temporary thing. You're just selling it to somebody who's obviously going to sell it back to you. I mean, a case could be made that his share in the team will be worth that much more when he is done playing for them.
Exactly.
But you kind of can't. People are in things to make money, and obviously it's when somebody's making money like that, it's almost impossible to find a way for them to not make money. Like, they're going to make it every way they want. You know?
Right.
I mean, it's like, so you almost have to assume that people are in it to make money, and that's like, if they can find generosity within that, then you just have to take that for what it is, because, no one's going to hand over all their money at this point. It's just, he's not going to stop making money all of a sudden because it's the wrong thing to do, because he's already set a precedent for 15 years of just becoming like a corporation.
Because he was definitely the right person at the right time in the world of mass marketing and whatnot. I mean, when Air Jordan first came out, it was like you had to get that without question.
Yeah, it's not even about the sport. It's just about a figure.
Exactly.
Of who represents excellence, and everybody wants to buy into excellence. So
now let me ask you this. I'm not sure if you happen to see the top 50 athletes on ESPN, but they put him at number 1.
Uh-huh.
How did you feel about that?
Who was number 2? Do you remember? Was it like
I
Babe
believe
Ruth?
it was either Muhammad Ali or Babe Ruth. They were definitely 2 and 3.
Well, you also have to think of it as ESPN wouldn't. I mean, it's not a bad move from ESPN's point of view, because they can't get it. They can't have any kind of business relationship with Babe Ruth at this point.
True.
And they can't do a whole lot with Muhammad Ali either.
You're right.
So
I guess because he's freshest on their minds with all the video highlights and whatnot,
Yeah.
it kind of brainwashes you after a while.
So, I mean, you take a guy, and you also have to figure of the ESPN generation, if you want to think about ESPN is going to be skewed to an athlete who helped ESPN become ESPN, where people are watching ESPN for Michael Jordan. ESPN didn't have any relationship with Muhammad Ali. He was already, done by the time they were a national network and, or station. But so I can see how they would make that call, because it just favors them. But he also is in terms of, if you want to talk about one person becoming an industry, it's like it is between Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali. And, I could see how they would give it to Michael Jordan, because you don't have that sad side to it that you have with Muhammad Ali.
You're right, because at least the 6 last years Jordan played basketball, he was a champion.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, it's the sad decline, and, so it's just not, I guess they want to put, Michael Jordan at number 1 because it's somebody they can still work with also.
That's a great perspective. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, well, thank you for calling, sir.
Not a problem.
All right, you have a good night.
Take care. Have a good night, Tom.
Okay, you too. Bye. The level of discourse. Very intelligent on the show tonight, I might add. FMU, you're on the air.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's Mark calling.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm fine. Just we're driving around Brooklyn.
Sure. Are you you have a little bit of a twang there, Mark?
Do I?
Yeah. Where are you from originally, if you don't mind me asking?
Virginia.
And how long have you been in the New York area? Do you live in New York?
No, we just drove up here. We were supposed to be on FMU tonight.
Really? What? For what?
It's a play, I guess.
Well, what's your band?
Sparklehorse.
Sparklehorse. Really? Whose show were you playing on?
I don't know.
What time were you supposed to be
really
here?
Sure. No, we were supposed to be there at like 8 o'clock, but we called ahead and told them that it would be a miracle if we had made it. So.
Well, are you? Why don't you play us a little something now?
I don't have my guitars, not even in the truck.
A cappella. You can do it a cappella.
Why don't you play me a record, though?
What do you want to hear?
What record is Shake Appeal on? Raw Power?
I'm drawing a complete blank right now. You're catching me on
the
on this one.
Stiggy and the.
So you want to hear Shake Appeal?
Yeah, on the Stooges record.
Okay.
It's either on Funhouse or Raw Power.
All right, I will play it for you.
Will you do that?
Yes, I will. Are you really from Sparklehorse?
Yeah,
What's your new album?
It's a Wonderful Life.
What label?
Capitol.
How's your relationship with Capitol Records?
Oh, God, I should have never called.
Come on, tell me. You can give us a little bit.
And there's a really cool delay in the van.
Is there? Yeah. Now,
Really wicked. It's really wicked.
how long have you been on Capitol?
For 5 years.
And who's the guy up there? Gary Gersh?
Now Gary's gone.
Gary's gone?
Gary's gone.
Who's your point man now up there?
Dave, I have a really good A&R guy. He's one of the good ones.
Do they get it?
I'm lucky.
Do they get it?
Yeah, I think they're starting to.
When they heard the new album, what did they think?
I think they're always a little apprehensive at first, but it takes a while, you know. My stuff is not, you know, for my whatever.
I mean,
I don't sell a lot of records, you know.
Well, how much do they meddle in things?
They've been pretty good.
So if you hand in an album, they pretty much take it as is?
They try to meddle a little, but then they leave me alone and everything's fine.
Now, were they in on the process when you're recording?
No.
Who
No,
produced?
they were really good. I mean, that's one of the good things is I was able to go and work with other people.
Mm-hmm. So who?
Right on third.
Like, do they try to help?
I'm
please.
trying not to get lost again.
Absolutely. Now,
All right, look.
one more question.
Okay.
Are you friends with the guys from radio?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
All right, thanks.
They gave us our first big tour, you know.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're good boys.
Now they are on. Can you? The other final question is, how can I get on a promo mailing list? For me personally.
Sparklehorse?
No, for all of the Capitol Records releases.
Oh man, I wouldn't know.
I need everything.
On Capitol?
Everything. I need it all. But sealed. I need it sealed. And if you can get it without hole punches, I don't
so you
need.
can take it straight. All right.
I don't want
to
to punch.
do with it.
Tell them not to punch anything. I'm serious. You think I'm joking here, Mark? I'm not joking. I'm not living a life of luxury like you are. Driving around Brooklyn like the king of the world.
Well, what?
Well, you're royalty. I'm not royal.
The van just burst into flames.
This second?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. You're living the life, and I'm just a slob.
Oh, you're not.
All right, Mark. Hey, thanks for calling.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, you have a good
night.
night.
Will you play that Stooges
I will
song
try
for
to.
me?
Shake a pill. I will try.
Okay, then.
Thanks.
All right,
bye. Was that really the guy from Sparklehorse? Does anybody know? Can anybody confirm that? Because that would mean I talked to the guy from the Strokes and the guy from Sparklehorse in the same night. Hey, let's go to the email. We haven't checked in there for a while. Wild City, Michael, I'm sorry, saying that Woody Allen, no more Woody Allen. He hasn't shown us the funny for 2 decades. Jason checking in saying, what are you saying here, Jason? He says, my son and I love the Stooges. In the name of the Trinity, Moe, Larry, and Curly, we forgive you for hating them. He also says that Larry Fine was not related to Curly, Shemp, or Moe, who were brothers. So this jerk talking about Uncle Curly is a fraud. Okay? Thank you for exposing a fraud, Jason. Someone else emailing in, how dare you call the Stooges talentless? They were brilliant vaudevillians who made millions laugh. I bet you think people like the Marx Brothers are funny. You suck lemons. From Izzy. Oh, thank you, Izzy. You know what? I do think the Marx Brothers are infinitely better than the Three Stooges. We were talking earlier about the movie Collateral Damage, which is the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which is unreleasable. And Bill checking in says, I think it's pretty sad that it takes a disaster like the World Trade Center attack for the entertainment industry to deem their production sick and inappropriate. Very true. Truer words have never been spoken. Robin checking in saying, she signed up for Friends of Tom some weeks ago when it was Scharpling's Army. And she thinks there should be some sort of mixer or social event where members could meet each other. What do you think? I think that's a great idea. Let me get things rolling first, though. I promise we will do something with the Friends of Tom. And if you want to join, toms@wfmu.org. That's where you email and say you want to join. We got Patrick in Germany, Hanover, Germany, listening on the computer, saying the Kraftwerk have overstayed their welcome. They did great things, and now they do their old stuff all over. Everybody's making a big show of their new stuff, but it is nothing. Thank you, Patrick. Who else here? Billy. We didn't read Billy's comment. Billy said these people have overstayed their welcome. Howard Stern, Eric Clapton, and Lou Reed. Those three have worn out their welcome, according to Billy. I would agree with you. I would agree. Billy, you and I, we're not so different, are we? We agree. Let's see. Someone emailing in here, somebody named Even, saying that he doesn't know if that was really Mark from Sparklehorse, but he answered the questions correctly about his latest album and being on Capitol. Who would know that except someone in the band? Paul checking in, saying, Paul from North Carolina, saying, George Foreman and George Stephanopoulos have outstayed their welcomes. I would agree with George Stephanopoulos outstaying his welcome. But no one gets on George Foreman. Have you tried that grill yet? The grease rolls right off. Oh, it's like the greatest invention. Hey, the phone number, 201-200-9368. You know what? I think we're going to get back to the music. Here is something from a band. And I can't find the CD that it's from. Here's a treat for all of you. The Nerves on WFMU.
of me, my love? I've got a million pennies in my pocket for you. I'm thinking of the things that you might do to me. I've got a million kisses in the freezer for you. I'm thinking of the things that you might do to me. Do you still think of me, my? Do you still think of me, my love? Do you still think of me, my? Do you still think of me, my love?
All right. Hey, everybody. You're listening to the best show on WFMU. My name is Tom Scharpling. Only 9 minutes left in the program. We just heard from the Mink Lungs from their fantastic new album, The Better Button. Who doesn't like the Mink Lungs? Who amongst ye does not like them? Ah, the Resonators before that from their album Don't Blank with the Fantasy. On the Silk Breeze label, we heard Happy. Going out by request to Mark from Sparklehorse, allegedly. I think it was the guy. I think it was him. Shake Appeal from Raw Power. And starting us off, The Nerves. Their new album's called World of Gold, and we heard 10 Feet Tall. The phone number 201-200-9368. We were talking about anything, but we were also talking about the people who have stayed on the stage too long and worn out their welcome. Who has worn out their welcome? Michael Jordan is coming back. By my estimation, he has worn out his welcome. He has to realize that time has passed him by, possibly. And if he is at 60% or 75%, it will be sad, because him at 75% on the Chicago Bulls would be one thing, but him at 75% on the Washington Wizards is a whole other thing. (201-200-9368), the phone number. Tom S. at WFMU.org, the email address. And if you want to join Friends of Tom, which Scharpling's Army was the name of the fan club, or not fan club, the club that we're starting, where we're going to have little things where we get together and have fun, and there's going to be a membership card and all kinds of things. And I'm changing the name to Friends of Tom, FOT. So if you want to join FOT, Tom S. at WFMU.org, just email me and say, sign me up. and you will be listed. We haven't done anything yet, but we will soon. Things were a little sidetracked by all the stuff that's been going on. Here's a couple people, Alex checking in, saying that these people have outstayed their welcome. David Bowie, Philip Glass, and Bill Callahan from Smog. They've all outstayed their welcome. I wonder. That's an interesting little list there. Hey, WFMU, you're on the air.
Yes, Tom. What did you think about Alice Cooper? You think he pretty much overstayed his welcome?
But what does he do now? Other than, doesn't he run, restaurants? He has, a restaurant in Arizona.
Yeah, he's got Cooperstown out there, and now he's doing commercials for Marriott Hotel. I guess he kind of got jealous over Kiss doing their one for Holiday Inn, so I guess he had to put his 2 cents in. Now it's kind of like a comedy vaudeville show, I guess, just him doing his greatest hits.
But what was he for the last 20 years?
Recording bad albums for a bunch of different labels, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just... he definitely outstayed his welcome, but it's like he also kind of got removed from the stage.
Okay.
As much. You know what I mean? I mean, I agree with you. But he also has not exactly had a mountain of public support.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. What about Ozzy Osbourne? Do you think he's pretty much going through the motions at this point?
I'm sure he is. I mean, I give him credit for actually repackaging himself in all these guises of now he's just like the ringmaster of this tour every year. Which I mean, which just seems like the most horrifying lineup every year. It's like, hey, who are my least favorite bands? It's like, hey, I guess I could cross-reference that with a list of who played Ozfest.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the guy actually has worked himself into this, grandfatherly role for these bands.
I think it's pretty much at the hand of Sharon Osbourne at that, his wife and manager. I think she's pretty much calling the shots for, the past 10 years or so.
Yeah. You know what, with him, I almost don't begrudge him because maybe now he's actually he's making a lot of money where he really did kind of start over completely when nobody wanted what he had to offer.
You're right, when he was opening colleges, with Motorhead back in the early 80s.
Exactly, and he really did come all the way from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom, and back to the top again. He really did do the full, he had his heyday with Black Sabbath, and then he, got booted out, but he actually managed to get back, back all the way on top. So he might be. You're probably right on that, but for some reason I don't begrudge him his success because he's also funny too.
He's kind of like Benny Hill right now.
Yeah, he's kind of. See, I think of him as like Foster Brooks. He's like heavy metal's Foster Brooks, Ozzy Osbourne's walking around. He looks like he's drunk all the time, and you can barely understand what he's saying, but he's funny at least. So, for what that's worth.
You got a point. You got me. All right.
I'm not trying to get you.
Okay.
Hey, are you a friend of Tom?
Absolutely.
Did you sign up?
I will tomorrow.
Do it.
I certainly will.
Tom S. at WFMU.org.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Have a great
night.
night.
You too. Hey, it's just about that time for us to say goodnight here on the best show on WFMU. I want to thank Dave for coming in and screening calls on the other side of the glass. And, oh, you're welcome, Dave. See how polite he is? He said thanks. He said thanks to me for coming down and screening calls. That's manners right there. And I want to thank everybody who called and emailed. And remember, if you want to join the Friends of Tom, it's thomas at WFMU.org. Email and just say, sign me up. We've got an exciting show next week because it's still going to be the best show on WFMU, but next week, if things go well, you will hear maybe the greatest show I have ever done. And it is in the works. It will be sheer entertainment like you have never heard or seen, for that matter, in any form in your life ever. We're bringing back old-fashioned entertainment next week. That's all I will say about it right now, because this might not come together. But if the radio gods are with us, next week's show will be truly monumental, and entertaining in the most traditional of ways. So at this point, I want to say you are listening to WFMU East Orange, WXHD Mount Hope worldwide on the World Wide Web at WFMU.org. Stay tuned for Nickel and Dime Radio with Small Change coming up in 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, right now.